My friends, let me bring this to a close. The last part I want to talk about, fatwa. I've been asked many times, what is a fatwa? Is fatwa by an extremist cleric to kill Molly Norris because she's drawing the faces of Prophet Muhammad on cartons? What is a fatwa? Fatwa is simply a scholarly ruling by a so-called religious authority. I say so-called because in Islam, anybody can become a religious authority. In Islam, this is very hard to understand. Particularly in the Shia tradition, 85% of Muslims, there is no religious hierarchy. Prophet Muhammad said every single Muslim is his or her own priest. Between God and humanity, there is no hierarchy, no intermediary. So, that is why you can go very easily fatwa shopping. You don't like this fatwa? Go to get another fatwa. Talk to another religious scholar. I had somebody come to me who, he's married. He says, I want to get another wife, but keep her as a wife also. I said, this is not permissible as per the Quranic regulation. Islam allows it at that time in the 7th century when the ratio of women to men was 4:1. You could marry up to 4 wives. And the Quran says you can do this even in those difficult circumstances where the ratio of women to men was 4:1, as I've said. But the Quran says if you can distribute your affection equally. I'm sure he said he's capable of that. But there's another verse which says, and this is a very critical verse which a person like me or him might too easily overlook. The verse says, this act of being able to distribute your affection equally is, quote unquote, humanly impossible. But what did he do? He went to other places, got another fatwa saying, yes, I can marry, or he can marry. So he went fatwa shopping, and in his case, he was successful. So you can go fatwa shopping. Any fatwa is non-binding. The second question always being asked, why is the drawing of a picture of Prophet Muhammad so emotionally arousing for Muslims? Why are they so angry about somebody drawing the picture of a holy man like a Prophet Muhammad or any other person? Jesus, Abraham, Moses, they'll be equally upset. Because Muslims believe that the human being can lapse, if there's a picture, into worshipping that picture rather than God. In other words, by drawing a picture, we can engage in what is called the most extreme form of idolatry. So the drawing of picture for that reason is forbidden. In fact, among the conservative Muslims, for example, the king of Saudi Arabia, the previous kings who have died, I've lived in Saudi Arabia, all their graves are unmarked. They don't want anybody to know their grave is there. Why? Because they say, if people come and sit here and worship at my gravesite, the danger is they will actually commit idolatry by worshipping me rather than God. The Quran says, to God belong the most beautiful names. Another question always being asked, why are Muslims so sensitive? Why are they so angry about these cartoons or making fun of the Quran or Muhammad? Of course, a lot of it is ego. But I must also point out, this is what we found in workshops, that every single group has what is called a wound. Jews have their wounds, Christians have their wounds. What is the wound of a Muslim? The wound of a Muslim is not that he or she is called a terrorist. That's painful enough, that any Muslim is a terrorist. The wound of a Muslim, we know for sure from all our conversations, is that Muslims have such authentic love, regard for Jesus, who's in the Quran is called the Spirit of God, mentioned many times, very special prophet, revered prophet, for Abraham, for Moses, for Isaac, for Ishmael, for all the prophets. They have authentic love. A Muslim will never say Jesus or Muhammad or Abraham or Moses or Isaac without immediately saying, like I say silently, peace and greetings be upon you. So a Muslim gets shocked and they expect reciprocity. They have authentic, heartfelt, genuine affection and love for Jesus and all the other prophets. How is it that a Christian or Jew, or some of them, can say such vile things about Muhammad without knowing his life story? Sex pervert, bloodthirsty. A wounded Muslim will say, you don't have to accept him as a prophet. You don't even have to like him. But when you call him those words, it really hurts a Muslim. I think there's a good Arabic proverb which gives some understanding. There's an Arabic proverb which says that when there's an open wound in the palm of your hand, and somebody let's say my palm has no wound in it. If you rub salt in it, it's a nuisance. But if you rub salt in a palm of a hand that has an open wound, it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. This is no justification for those fatwas. This is no justification for saying, I want to kill you. In fact, Rumi always encountered these people who are getting so sensitive about, my religion has been criticized. Muhammad would say, and there's an actual story of someone who felt so bad about the religion being criticized. Muhammad said, do you really believe that the Islamic faith is beautiful? Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Spacious? Absolutely. Can you, for example, if I tell you Islam is like the sky, beautiful, infinite, spacious? Absolutely. So Muhammad said, if somebody spits at the sky, does that pollute the sky? In fact, the spit comes back to you. Why are you so agitated about this if you really believe in the beauty of your religion, if you're secure within it? Another famous Sufi mystic, when somebody was complaining about Islam being criticized, went to him and said, if that person does a wrongdoing, has committed a sin by criticizing Islam, this goes into his accounts and ledger, not yours. Why are you getting so excited? There's a wonderful utterance I like by Rumi who says, somebody commits blasphemy, says something, the flames of hell rise up within you, Jamal. You call this defense of religion. You call this defense of truth. But Jamal, you don't notice your own arrogant soul. It is easy for me and for you to very quickly lapse into what is called self-righteousness and lose sight of our arrogant soul. Let me just end with this wonderful verse by Rumi who says, what is praised is one. Therefore, all these praises is also one. So many jugs being poured into a huge basin. All these different races, different religions, different singing. It's really all one song. Rumi says, look at this. Sunlight falls upon this wall. It's a little different from the sunlight falling upon that wall. And actually, it's quite different from the sunlight falling upon this wall. But really, it's all one light. Why are you worshipping the wall? Rumi says, yes, religions are different. They're very different. But to fight over the differences is really engaging in what he calls illusion and vanity. And this is something I'd like to leave you with. All the fighting that's going on, Rumi says if you really go deep into it, particularly fighting over religion, is based on nothing more than illusion and vanity. And the key to overcoming this, as the great saints in Islam say, Jamal, you know the value of every article of merchandise, but you don't know the value of your own soul. And if you don't know the value of your own soul, it's all foolishness. first step and the last step is to connect with myself and to transform my ego and open my heart and then genuinely be of service to others. Let's be with that for a few moments.